Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Oh man. First of all, Happy New Year. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all your support. Hope you have a great and amazing 2026. I'm not sure if it's going to include the WNBA because right now I'm thinking put a fork in it. Women's basketball is done. It is cooked. And yeah, I said women's basketball because let me ask you a couple of questions. Anyone talking about the women's game in college right now? Now, maybe if Juju was playing, we'd all be hearing about how she's a better college player than Caitlin Clark. But other than that, the game just isn't being covered the way that it was. Unrivaled. You've heard of Unrivaled, yes? Did you know it starts soon? Is anyone talking about Unrivaled? By the way, Nafisa Collier won't be playing. She's out, well, quite a while. I forget the amount off the top of my head. I think she has to have surgery, so she won't be playing in Unrivaled. But no one's talking about Unrivaled. No one cares about Unrivaled. No one is going to watch Unrivaled. And now we've got this. It is like the women. Apologies to all the normal ladies out there. I know the WNBA is a small subset, but I have to use the word delusional. They are absolutely delusional, completely disconnected from reality. We talked about the previous offer from the WNBA that basically what 4 or 5x salaries. I mean, even more than we originally, right? There was that first offer that I think took the top max salary to like over 800,000, then one that took it to 1 million, but with um, the revenue share tie-in and stuff, it would be up to 1.3 million by the time, you got toward the end of the CBA. Minimum salary was going from the what, like 70, 80,000, 90,000, whatever it is. I forget off the top of my head, up to, I think it might even be in here, up to 200. And, basically what the max used to be, huge increase. They were given revenue share as well that was getting bumped up from I think 9% to 15%. They put a lot of increases out there for the players. Now, I'm not saying that means that the players have to take that number, but based on what the union has just counter offered with, I'm going to say less at this point, definitely less than 50-50 that we get started with the season. Because again, don't forget, we've also got to get other things in place. We still have not had the expansion draft. And before the expansion draft, we have to have the teams submitting which players are and are not protected. Then we've got to figure out how free agency works and what that period is going to be. And the expansion draft has to be held and so on and so forth. Things need to happen. We've got the next deadline is January 9th. We'll see if that gets extended again. I'm going to guess that it does. It's going to need to. But at this point, I mean, I don't see how we go forward with this. I mean, check out some of these numbers, okay? Now, the union countered, and then the league's like, yeah, there's no possible way we can do that. I mean, look at this. This is actually higher, by the way. It has in here, $10.5 million salary cap. That's what the union counter with, but that actually isn't true. And I think it says it down further down, but we can see it here with Alexa Philippou who's reporting on this. The proposal featured projected salary cap of approximately $12.5 million in the first year. Now, keep in mind I believe the current salary cap, the one for 2025 that we just had was, I think, 1.5 million. And look at this, that proposal also included a $1 million average player salary, max salary of 2.5 million. Shut the front door, back the truck up. This is absolute insanity. I don't know if these players understand this at all. Maybe for those of you who are entertainment fans, and if you are, check out my new entertainment channel that I keep trying to get going. Uh, if you've been paying attention to, say, the MCU and what it has gone through and all the struggles it has had since Endgame because of all the decisions it's made and the characters that people don't care about and they're putting out there. And now we've got Doomsday and they're just really starting the marketing campaign, just releasing some trailers. And what are we seeing in Doomsday? What are they telling us about? Well, first of all, a while back, they had to get Robert Downey Jr. back. Now, of course, they couldn't bring him back as Iron Man, although they really could with the multiverse going the way it is. They're going to bring him back as Doctor Doom, and now we've got Thor coming out. And guess what finally happened? Something we kept hearing was never going to happen. Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. Will he be Captain America? That is up for debate. But here's the thing, folks. The WNBA is far, 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 far more dependent on Caitlin Clark for everything than the MCU is on saving itself being dependent on the original Avengers. And that is why they brought them back, of course, because they realized they screwed up so badly that if they want a chance of keeping this going, making some money, and maybe continuing the MCU, they are going to need to bring back the original Avengers, the ones people care about, that actually put butts in seats and sold tickets. Caitlin Clark is more important in the WNBA than they are to the success of the MCU. I won't go through all the numbers over again because there's a lot of things, but we know all about the ratings and how it was in 2024, and there hadn't been a 1 million viewer game and since 2008, the first game of 2008, Candace Parker's rookie debut, and but Caitlin Clark's games were averaged like over I think one over a million, maybe like 1.3. Is I had like 24, 25 games over a million or something like that. The rest of the league was at like, I don't know, 400,000 viewers, and that was actually lower than the year before. Yes, check it out. 24 was actually lower than 23 for the non-Caitlin Clark games, highly dependent on Caitlin Clark. But the union says, hey, you know what? We don't care. We're gonna ask for so much money because again, they have that sense of entitlement. They've got the media working overtime for and like some of the problems, and this is where you're going to have the type of thing that is a non-starter because this is absurd. The league will grow, right? We've got the expansions, we've got the insane amount of money that they paid for, and here's where you get into a fundamental misunderstanding of business. Players want to, of course, and of course they do. Like I get it, but you can't. Reality is reality. The numbers are the numbers, okay? The players union wants to take those one-time fees and say, "Hey, that's money that's coming in, so we're factoring that in as part of revenue going forward." But of course, it's not. It's a one-time thing. On top of that, you now have more teams that are getting a piece of the pie going forward, and it's become as the league does, which I obviously don't have to break down exactly how the numbers are going to work out, but each team who's already in the league is going to get a little less. They get a piece of that revenue fee. This is why you have that expansion fee. They'll get a piece of it, but going forward, they're going to get less of the pie. The team is what goes out to each team. They're going to get less of that because now we have more teams, and the expansion team's going to get a piece of that. So it's sort of a net zero. Those expansion fees are one time, and also as I just mentioned, they lessen impact. But the players want to be like, no, that's big time revenue money, and we want to factor that in when we're talking about the numbers we're going to ask for. All right, and just to recap, the last proposal for the WNBA, here are those numbers I was mentioning. Max salary above 1.3. I think it starts at like 1 million the first year. Okay, and growing to nearly 2 million over the life of their average salaries above 530 and growing to more than 780. That 530 I don't quite understand because I think the salary cap was like 10. I want to say no, not the salary cap was like 5 million, 5 million. Yeah, here it is, 5 million in the first year. So if you got 12 players, 500,000 each would be 6 million, which okay, I mean, so but anyway, it's similar, but my point is 5 million and the players want to make it that 5 million's up from what 1.5 and the players want to make it 12.5 million. Again, the supermax was 249, 244, $249,244. And they're saying we're going to go up to a million and then over the life of the deal we'll go to 1.3 and maybe even higher because we'll tie it into revenue. The average salary was only 120. Now it's going to be, it says 530, but it's going to be at least over 400,000. We're talking about 4 or 5x. And the players say, nope, not enough. The union is proposing a system based on gross revenue, defined as revenues before subtracting expenses, giving players about 30%. The players believe that who provide the labor have no control over business expenses shouldn't be paid last. Well, you're an employee. Uh, it's kind of how it works, and the bills have to be paid. I know you don't understand that. You're completely disconnected because the amount of money that the NBA is putting in. But now the players, again, here the players are going, they want 12.5 million and they want that in the first year. What are we doing? It's like the players saying, we want to close the WNBA, but here's the thing. Again, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. Who is talking about Unrivaled? Who cares about Unrivaled? Nobody, right? Last year it was unique. It was this thing we're going to check out. It was a new league. It was 3v3. It was different, and we'll check it out. And everyone did, and now they're like, wasn't that great? Really, not going to change my viewing habits for it. Yet the players want to take the average salary from about 120,000 to a million, the max player salary 2.5 million. They want to take the salary cap from 1.5. Now they said they came back down to 10.5, but even that 1.5 to 10.5, absolutely absurd. And again, this is a league completely dependent on Caitlin Clark. The WNBA closes for 2026. I do not believe that they will be back. There will be something that takes its place, and it may be another league in America, but it will be another a league. This happened with women's soccer. I've told you, I think the NWSL is the third, oh man, third or fourth women's professional league, and the first one to actually I think it's in year 11, year 12 right now. It's the first time that a league has gotten past 5 years, but of course they've had to do it on their own, unlike the WNBA. But so this is getting really interesting. I mean, they are not in the same universe. They are not in the same multiverse. So I'm telling you, less than 50-50. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You tap, tap. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and go have the day you deserve.